Good morning, good afternoon, boys and girls. My name is Jim and welcome to Super Game Drive. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but every now and often a game gets released on Android or iOS, and you wish that you could kind of like capture footage from it, or at least play it on PC, maybe with a controller, or mouse and keyboard might even suit some games a lot better. Well, I've got some news for you. Here's a way to do it that's really easy and takes minimal setup, and it'll have you up and running in no time. So basically the first thing you want to do is you want to head on over to bluestacks.com. This is an Android emulator for PC. Basically there are a few of them available, one of them being Nox Media Player. There's also vPlayer, and BlueStacks is one of the more common ones. However, over the last couple of days I've been trying these out myself, and BlueStacks seems to be the most stable and the best way to do this. So even with all the other options out there, I still feel like this is the best way to go. So first thing you want to do is download BlueStacks. BlueStacks 10 if you want. I don't know what BlueStacks 5 is, but BlueStacks 10 is the one I downloaded. So the first thing you want to do is download that. Once you've downloaded that, you will have the download installer, so just install BlueStacks. That's pretty simple, pretty easy to follow. The next thing you want to do, obviously, after the installation is open BlueStacks, which should just open up any minute. Here it comes. It does take a little while to open up because it has to do a cache every time, because it's basically what you're doing is you're running Android in a virtual machine environment. So it's going to do a bunch of stuff the first time you open it. It's going to tell you how things work. So basically this interface here is BlueStacks, and it's kind of like a launcher. So you're not in Android operating system kind of thing yet. You're just in a launcher that can launch you into the Android operating system. And there's not much to do here except for sign in with your Google account and sign in to Google Play Store and Google Games with your... It'll prompt you to do that for the first time you open it up. This is like the second time I've opened it up on this particular install, so it's not going to ask me. Also, I didn't want to do all that on the video, so that's fine. So next thing you want to do is, once you're here, you don't really actually need this launcher open. You just want to click the app player icon down here, and once you do that, it'll boot you into a different program, which you can see is starting to open up down the bottom here. So you can actually close this one entirely. You don't even need that open. You just want the BlueStacks app player to open, essentially. So you full screen that. Now what this will do is actually launch you into Android, where you can install games from the Play Store. And basically you would use it exactly like a tablet or phone. And it works quite well from experience. So starting BlueStacks, this will take a little time every time because it does check for updates, just like a phone would or a tablet would on boot. So it's like starting up your phone for the first time. It always takes a little while the first time you do it. Now, if you don't pay for BlueStacks, like me, I'm not going to pay for it because it runs fine on its own. You will occasionally get ads down the bottom of your home screen here and at the side of your home screen here. It does not show ads during gameplay. So once you load the app, it doesn't do it. As you can see, I've got a couple of games here installed that I like to play. You can make it full screen, so you don't have anything except for the Android operating system on screen. Now, first thing, obviously, you want to do is you want to log into the Google Apps Center, and you want to log into the Play Store. Once you've done that, it just works like normal. So you get to your Play Store, it's going to show you your account, and it's going to show you all your apps and things like that. Again, first time you open it, it's going to be a bit longer because that's just how the Play Store works. And then you can browse a list of games, just like you would on your phone. So anything that's on the phone is available here. I've not found anything that I couldn't download because I'm running this. So there's got Genshin Impact, Mobile Legends, you've got Arc Knights, you've got Pokemon Master ZX, Aether, lots of stuff that I would like to play on a PC or with a controller specifically, or keyboard controls, but couldn't in the past. So I have this stuff already. So basically, if you hold your, or if you press F11, sorry, you can go back to minimum screen mode. So you can use it like an Android. Down here you got your functions, so you get your back, your settings, all that stuff. The first thing you want to do, obviously, you want to close all windows, just like a... Apparently you remembered what I was playing last. Neat, I guess. Anyway, so we're back to the Android home screen. The first thing you might want to do before you launch any of these games is go to your settings. And you can see here I've got it set to high 4 cores, high 8 gigabytes, high performance. That's as high as it goes in this. It may be set to something else, and it may work fine as that for you, but I sort of have made the display higher. I've made it sort of 2K. I didn't change it. DPI, I set it to high and 2K. I think that was the only thing I changed there. Graphics here, I left it on OpenGL because it's the most compatible. And in fact, if you go to launch something like Aether, it won't play unless it's in OpenGL, but it will prompt you and it will tell you that it needs to change and restart. Is that okay? And you're like, yeah, sure, fine, do that. I've left everything else the same. I changed this to hardware decoding. I found that worked better. Game settings, I don't have any per app settings really, so I just get out of this now. And that's really it. You can download any game you want. I will show you a game working. I can show you Aether, which currently is not on PC. It's not on consoles. It's not on anything but Android and iOS. So you know this is legit. So I'll open up this and we'll see. I don't know how loud it's going to be. Hopefully not too loud. I have it already set up, but I'll show you how to set up keys and stuff for it. It will have, for popular games, it will have keys and gamepad detection set up automatically, but I didn't really like the way it works because this game requires you to click a bunch of stuff, and I'm actually okay playing it with the mouse clicking some things. So all I did was I set up dodge and the WSAD to play it, and I took the buttons off the screen. I'll show you how to do that once it opens up and starts playing. There it goes. Okay. So if you don't know what Aether is, it's a gacha type game, but it's an action combat gacha type game, which is cool. I like it. It's actually one of the most forgiving type gacha games. So I've had a lot of free like pulls for the good things. So for the 5 stars and all that, and I've already got a bunch of 5 stars. And there's my daily stuff that I've logged in. You can see I've actually been playing this. Anyway, so you've got your daily stuff and all that.
Let's give it our all today.
I'm not going to give it my all, but yeah, the game is running fine. So I'll get into a just a combat scenario.
To help.
Yeah, you will. We'll go to her tutorial practice so I can show you the control setups. She's actually a 5-star girl, and I pulled her like my second go. So again, it's got to load because it's an Android game. If you run this off an SSD, it runs better. I'm not running it off an SSD currently. So as you can see, I can move my mouse around and I can click things on the screen here. So the actual Android buttons. Yeah, these will all be attacks that open up later. And I can move that around with the mouse, but that's not how I play. I have set those screen things to WSAD on the keyboard. And then I've got my dodge set to, which is this button here. Normally you would press it, but I've got my dodge set to shift. And to do that, you go into F11. On the sidebar here, there's keyboard setup. And on-screen controls I had turned off. So as you can see, it comes up. Tab is set to my target.
Rest here for a moment?
Shift is set to my dodge, and WSAD is set to this area here. I can make the opacity higher so you can see that a bit better. But I just turn them off once they're set because it's easy to remember for this game. But you can actually edit. You can put whatever you want wherever you want. Like you can see where I've actually put them on the screen here, and they work fine. I don't need to do anything else for this game because I don't mind clicking the actual attacks, but you can set them to either a keyboard command, and I'll show you how to do that. So if I want to do my main attack, I've got it on tap spot. So when I tap here, it's going to ask me for a new key, and I can set that to whatever I want. Let's set that to E, so attack is now going to be E. If I save that, and I get out of the control edit,
Want to rest here for a moment?
I can turn this off so it doesn't show me the E on the screen. So at the moment it's showing me it, but I don't want that on the screen. And I go back to the game, I can make it full screen again. If I tap E on the keyboard, it's going to work. Once I get back into the game. Hang on. For some reason it's not working. Did I? Oh, okay, I turned game controls off, not on-screen controls off. That's my bad. You can actually turn them off altogether and just tap everything. On-screen controls I want off because I don't want to see them. Now I can move around with WSAD, and I can press E to attack
Give it my best shot.
if I wanted to. I can still click them, even though I have E set to it. But now E's set to my attack. Whoop. So as you can see, the game's running fucking flawlessly. Really cool. You gotta dodge this guy. You gotta dodge this guy's attack. Ready? Slow down. And then she has her power-up moves. So yeah, that's. I'm not gonna play Aether Gauge. I might go into this game a little bit better next time. But you can see how that works, and generally it works the same way in every game. So you can set controls per game, and it will remember every time you set up a game with different controls. So for instance, if I was to go 11 and quit this game and go into Neverland, I won't go into Neverland right now because it takes a while to load because it's an MMO that's only on mobile, but it's actually really cool if you look into it. It's called The Legend of Neverland, just so you can look it up. And as you can see, there's Honkai Star Rail, there's Honkai Impact 3, you can play Genshin, Lord of the Rings, the Sonic games, there's the Yu-Gi-Oh card games, the Pokemon card games. Anything that's on mobile, you can find on here. It's really, really cool. I suggest checking it out if it's something that you're interested in. The game's run flawlessly. It's pretty easy to set up, and once you're in, man, you're set. So I hope this has been somewhat educational and at least informal for you. So if it helped you out, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because I do stuff like this all the time. But yeah, Jim out.